What's up, you guys? It's your boy Savvy, and today I got a nice little video for you guys. We're gonna be doing a guide, just a weapons guide in general, guns you should be using to win more gunfights and get more wins in Apex Legends. This video is gonna be as short as possible, as short as I can make it, but it's gonna be really tailored for beginners or just beginners to intermediate players or returning players to Apex Legends, because all my sweaties, you already know what guns you should be using. But this guy should help you guys win more gunfights and probably get you more wins and get you less fried in the process. If you ever wonder why you're losing your 1v1s, it's probably because you're using the wrong weapon. So without further ado, we're gonna jump in the video. Make sure you guys make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. We just recently hit 100 subs too, so I thank every single one of you guys who have been showing the channel some love in general. But yeah, let's jump right into the video. All right, so just a quick disclaimer before we get too far into this. Just want to let you know that this is not like the tell-all guides for weapons. I will have a different opinion, and this video is just my opinion on what beginners to intermediate players should be using. So you can listen to me, you can listen to yourself, you can listen to other YouTubers. It doesn't really make a difference. I'm just trying to help you guys get a base understanding of what weapons you should be using, what weapons you should probably avoid. So R301 is going to be your most consistent light weapon. It is an assault rifle that actually uses light ammo, so it is going to be very consistent from long range. A little harder to use short, but it is a very, very strong gun. It's probably going to be your best light gun in my opinion, most versatile. Your R99 is going to be for your close range engagements until you learn the recoil pattern. I feel once you get used to the recoil pattern on the R99, you can use it a little further long range. After a certain distance, it's not viable anymore. But R99 short range hip fire is a absolute laser. It will melt your target. Your pistols, for your light, you will have a P2020 and an RE45. Your RE45 is your automatic pistol. Again, very close range. Would not advise using it long range. It's a very strong gun off start. If you can catch somebody without a shield, anything above a blue shield, you might want to play it very safe with the RE45. P2020 is a little different though. It has a I would be very cautious with the close range, obviously, because it is just a pistol, unless you're hitting your shots and have a very quick trigger finger for the mouse keyboard players. But you have a option of throwing on hammer points, and what hammer points actually does is it helps you do more damage when the person is unshielded. So what that means is when this person has no shield, as you can see, he has no shield right now, you do increased damage to them when they don't have a shield on. So if you can catch this off of a quick drop, you land, you see a hammer point, P2020, you push a person straight away, probably got a good chance of killing them. Alternator, I feel like the alternator is the in-between between the R99 and the R301. It's a very, very strong gun in the very beginning of the game, especially if you can get a light mag for it. Wouldn't so much run it later game. It's definitely not a gun you want to be running late into the games where everybody's fully kitted and ready to fight. But it is a very strong gun early, if you can get a mag for it and push a team who's not as prepared as you are or your team is. G7. G7 is a monster. If you can get it 2 times or 1 times for it, or even if you're good with the iron sights. I am not personally good with iron sights. I like it more with a scope. If you guys can get a scope with the weapon and actually learn how to track your targets and bullet drop, I would spend some time in the firing range with the G7, just getting used to shooting these moving targets right here in the back. Work on shooting that, your bullet trajectory, your bullet drop, and just leading your shots as far as the G7. It's an absolute monster, especially if you can hit headshots with it. All right, so moving on to your heavy weapons. The 3030 is in a weird spot right now as far as guns are concerned. If you can hit your shots, you can do a lot of damage, fully charged 3030 repeater, but you won't see too many of them being used per se. You will catch the occasional player that really knows what he's doing and can just beam you with this. There's no real attachments for it. It's just the regular mag stock and sight for it. It's a decent weapon when you get your accuracy up and you actually know what you're doing with the weapon. It's a newer weapon in general, so not too many people know how to use it. But if you know how to use it, it is powerful. Your wingman, actually, it's just OG, man. Just OG, something that's been in the game. Once you learn, this is a gun I would say. If you get a chance to really learn and master a weapon, for light, I would master the R301, and heavy, I would definitely master the wingman. The wingman is a very, very strong gun when you learn how to use it properly. It's the one gun that even while you're ADSing, you don't lose movement speed when you're strafing. Every other gun, when you're ADSing like this, you move slower left and right. Wingman is the one gun that you can still strafe. I don't know if the Peacekeeper does it as well, but I know the Wingman is the one weapon that you can keep your ADS speed, so you're a harder target to hit. While if your aim is very accurate, you can still continuously hit them as well. The Spitty, the Spitty. Let the memes begin with the Spitty. Spitfire go brrr. So the Spitfire is an amazing weapon. Does not take too much skill to use. It is basically a point and shoot. That's really what it is. If you know how to control your recoil and you have a very strong position against your enemy when it comes to using a Spitfire, you are going to melt. I highly recommend this gun for newer players and just returning players, or just getting your aim together as far as firing range as well, because you can shoot a large amount of bullets at one time and you can really work on controlling your recoil pattern. This gun is quite amazing just in general. If you get a chance to use one, I would definitely pick one up. Also, all you Rampart mains, you guys get a buff for using LMGs, plus using this behind a Rampart cover. I have died many times to Rampart sitting behind cover, holding left click or right trigger with an LG. Moving on to the Hemlock. The Hemlock is nothing too fancy, nothing to really talk about here. It's a very strong 3 burst if you hit your shots. This is not a gun you want to be using up close. They just recently nerfed the hip fire accuracy for the Hemlock, so this is not a gun I advise using. Unless you have a very strong backup like a R99 or something like a P2020 hammer points that you can spam really quickly after you switch off of your Hemlock. Other than that, I wouldn't really advise it. The monster, the flatline monster. This is a gun, if you learn the recoil and you learn how to control the recoil very well, and you have a decent mag on here, you will absolutely shred. I can absolutely promise you. If you can control your recoil pattern and actually master this weapon, you're shred. You'll absolutely shred your opponent. If you're getting into a fight with anybody, and you're more than likely gonna win with the flatline if you hit your shots and have a decent mag. Having anything under like a blue mag, a white mag, you got to be very careful when you're going against somebody that has an R3 or purple mag, or an R99 with a purple mag or blue mag. Because if you miss too many shots with this, you're gonna die 100%. So you need to really master this weapon, get it down, come to the firing range, work on your aim, and I promise you the next time you pick up a flatline, you will shred. Okay, so I'm gonna do snipers really quickly because I do not feel like beginning players and intermediate players should be sniping at all. But just for the sake of covering all the guns, I'm gonna do them really quickly. Charge rifle is probably going to be your easiest weapon to use. It has a charge up feature. It's just a long beam that you can shoot continuously, and it makes it easier to track your target left and right. It does damage over time, obviously, so it does a consistent amount of damage. Your longbow, once you actually get pretty decent with a weapon, a longbow or a sentinel, which I'm gonna go over in a second, will probably be your best option. Longbow has the ability to add skull piercer to it, which gives you increased headshot damage for the longbow, which obviously was 138 with the mod attached to it. Sentinel obviously has the charge up feature. where if you have, you can use 2 small shields if another small shield is spawned. Thank you. And you can actually charge up the sentinel weapon. Charging it obviously gives you increased damage and fire rate, so you actually hit higher for 176 headshots. Your triple take is a very good weapon if you want to hip fire close range. If you just pick one up off the floor and all you have is a very accurate hip fire, but it also has spread and charge up damage. So charge up damage for headshots without a mod at all. It's very, very good. Okay, so energy weapons. Energy weapons are pretty interesting. The Devo is going to be your energy light machine gun. Without a turbocharger for it, which is this attachment right here. It has a charge up feature, or doesn't have a charge up feature, but like it revs up. Like to get it to go fully light machine gun mode, it takes some time to rev up. So like I'll give you an example. That's full auto as it like revs up. With a turbocharger, it instantly goes into full charge up mode. So if you can find a turbocharger with Devo or with a Havoc, which I'm gonna go over in just a second, this gun's very strong. It's very good close range because you have hip fire with the same speed, and it's pretty decent medium to long range as well. The Havoc, you can also use it with a turbocharger. This gun, let me be very clear, my opinion, without a turbocharger, not viable. I would not use this gun without a turbocharger. It will get you killed in multiple situations. If you are not a good player, or you are not a very skilled player and you're just learning the game, I would not use a Havoc without a turbocharger. With a turbocharger, obviously it instantly starts shooting. It's a very strong weapon that you can use. It's a little harder to control than a lot of the other guns, as well as the Devo, but kind of hard to control. But with a turbocharger, it is a very good weapon. Be careful what sights you use. I would only try to use like a one-time sights with this. Anything higher than that, and your recoil gets a little weird. L-stars I would avoid until you really know how to use the L-star. It's something you would have to practice. If you pick it up off a spawn and just have to use it, then so be it. But the hip fire is really hard to control. The ADS without a sight, without a 1x or 2x is really hard to see. And close range, when you're hitting your target, these red balls that are shooting, they can really mess you up because you really can't see your target. On to probably what I feel like is one of, if not the best weapon in the game. It kind of competes with the R301 for me. Either the R301 or a Volt for me is an amazingly close race. If I can get an R301 and a Volt for a weapon combo, I usually keep that throughout the whole game. I will not change weapons. The Volt is probably one of the strongest weapons. It has a very high accuracy, very low recoil control pattern. If you can get your hands on a Volt and kit it out, which what I mean by kitting it out is a stabilizer, a mag, a stock, and a sight, I would keep it throughout the whole game. It's very strong, and it's very much worth coming to the firing range and just working on it and getting better and improving with it. All right, so we're gonna do shotguns, and then we're gonna do our legendaries with the video. So Mozambique with hammer points are actually really good. Without hammer points, maybe not so much. Probably shouldn't be using that, but with hammer points, obviously, like I said before, the P2020, when you actually have somebody with broken shield, you do increased damage. And the fire rate, I would try to use some type of bolt for shotguns at all times. If you plan on using shotguns, try to get a bolt. The increased fire rate will help tremendously. Mastiffs are in a weird place right now. Obviously, if you've been following, but you probably haven't, but if you have, they just got a nerf. So you might hit pretty decently, or you might not hit decently. Sometimes you hit 11, sometimes you hit 88. It's all very strange with the Mastiff right now. So it is a weapon that you can use early game. If you get a chance to, I would switch to what I feel is the most strongest shotgun in the game, which is the Eva. The Eva has the same hit potential, like hit range, as a Mozambique, and it hits as hard, if not harder, than a Mastiff close range. And you get the the full auto effect. Not like the full auto, but you can, you know what I mean, you can continuously shoot it without that reload period like the Mastiff has, and you get more bullets than a Mosin, being double the bullets that a Mosin can. So EVA 8 is probably your best shotgun. It should go to. Highly recommended for beginner players and intermediate players. Great gun off spawn. Just overall, it's a very strong weapon. Peacekeepers are not what they used to be. It has a charge up feature, as you said. I mean, as I've said, it has a charge up feature. You can let go of the charge up feature and it will slowly go back to a regular ADS square. Like you said, if you have it fully charged and let go of it, you still have that small radius, but that circle is very tiny. So for my beginning and new players, I don't know if the risk reward is worth it, because these 3 items, the Peacekeeper, the Prowler, and the Kraber, can only be found in care packages, and it takes a little know-how on how to use the weapons and the luck to actually get the weapons without dying going to these care packages. Prowler is a very strong weapon, has a burst feature and also has a full automatic feature. Both are very strong, very good. If you can get your hands on a Prowler, then it's definitely worth using. A little bit of a recoil thing there going, but it's not too much anything to worry about. You can control it pretty easily. The burst feature will be good for longer ranges and the full auto for closer range situations. The 50 cal, like I said before, I don't suggest you guys snipe if you're beginning to intermediate. If you are going to snipe or you just want to have fun one game and you want to use the Kraber, absolutely go for it. It is a one-shot headshot, excuse me, and a 145 to the body, which puts you pretty much one shot. So after a Kraber shot, switch to a P2020 or whatever your secondary is and start shooting. I would not reload your sniper. Shoot your sniper shot. If you hit, immediately swap and start shooting. Alright you guys, that's going to go ahead and do it for the video. That is a weapons guide, tips and tricks type of video for you guys. Weapons you should be using, weapons you should be probably avoiding to help you get more kills and more wins and just have an overall better experience on Apex Legends. If you guys made it all the way to the end of the video, it's much appreciated. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. It really helps the channel. It really helps the algorithm in my favor. If you guys are new around here, I make videos all the time on just tips and tricks or challenge videos, funny videos. Yeah, but just go ahead and subscribe. It's completely free and it means the world to me. I mentioned this on my last video. It was a challenge video that I actually did not complete, so I'm looking for one person to give 1,000 Apex coins away to. All you have to do is comment SavvyAU in this or the last video, and I will be picking somebody who does that to give away 1,000 Apex coins to. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. It's your boy Savvy. Peace.